We are live now, sir.
Okay. Good morning, all of you. Good morning, students. Welcome back to Fastrack section, cost and management accounting. Yesterday, we have discussed about material costing, labor costing, activity-based costing. Now we are moving to process costing. There only we stop. Process represent stages in the production activities are divided into different segments. Each and every segments are called process. Once the process happens, output of the one process has become input for the next process. Output of the one process become input for the next process. That process can be carried out either sequentially or parallelly. In case of single product, sequential processing may be possible. And in case of joined product, parallel processing is possible after the split off point. With respect to process costing, each and every process is a cost center. And output of the end product, that is end process, is a cost unit. Each and every process is a cost center. Output of the end process is called one cost unit. So these are all the basic elements supposed to know with respect to process costing. Now, with respect to process costing, 3 segments are there for your examination preparation. One is mere preparation of process account. Mere preparation of process account. Second one, whenever WAP arises,
Sir, can you unmute? Your mic is on mute.
is it okay?
Yes, done, sir.
I think it's auto change. Voice audible now?
Perfectly audible, sir.
Yeah. So I'll repeat. 3 segments with respect to process costing for your preparation. First one, output of the one process is going to become input of the next process at the cost. that is called mere preparation of process account. Like process 1 account, process 2 account, you have to prepare. Second one is called equivalent production. Whenever WAPs are there in this question, we have to solve the problem by way of equivalent production. Third segment, in general, output of the one process is going to become input for the next process at cost. If I am going to transfer after adding profit, there is called inter-process profit method. So the three elements are important with respect to process costing. Mere preparation of process account, equivalent production, and inter-process profit. Among three, the most important segment is equivalent production. When equivalent production arises, whenever WAP given in this question, we have to solve the problem by way of equivalent production. So based on that, can we solve one problem? Equivalent production. Good. I'll post the question in chat box. Yes, Srinivas. Good morning. Okay. Good. Go to the question quickly. Question is there in the chat box. Yeah, I'll read the question. Kindly check it out. The following data are available in respect of process for the month of June 2009. Opening work in progress 2,250 units at rupees 11,250. Degree of completion, material 100%, labor 60%, overhead 60%. Input of material 22,750 units at 88,500 rupees. Direct wages 20,500. Production overhead 41,000. Units scrapped 3,000 quantity. Degree of completion for the unit scrapped, material 100%, labor 70%, and the production overhead also 70%. Closing WAP 2,500 units. Degree of completion, material 100%, labor 80%, and production overhead 80%. Unit transferred to next process 19,500. normal processing loss 10% of total input. That is opening stock plus unit put in. Scrap value is rupees 3 per unit. The company follow FIFO method of inventory valuation. This is what the available data in this question. So based on that, we have to compute, we have to prepare process account. Interesting one. What Srinivas question புரியுதா? Physical students go through the question on top. Now, shall I start? Yes. They ask you to compute FIFO method, first in, first out method. With respect to equivalent production, weighted average method is there, as well as FIFO method is there. In examination, they won't specify directly, many times they won't specify which method is applicable. It's our duty to identify based on available information which method possible. Clear? But in this question, specific information is there. We have to solve the problem by way of FIFO method. Now, always remember to solve the problem by way of FIFO method, 3 adjustments you have to remember. If you do the 3 adjustments, automatically it will get done. First one, output transfer to next process. We have to segregate into opening WAP separately and current process separate. Output and opening WAP how much, out of which opening WAP how much, and the current process input is how much. We are in FIFO. First, we have to do unfinished work going to become finished work. Therefore, opening WAP already. Second one, we should not consider cost of opening WAP at the time of computation of cost per unit of equivalent. Cost of opening WAP we should not consider. In FIFO method, what happened during the current period, that alone we have to consider. And third one, we have to add back the same cost of opening WAP at the time of output transfer to next process. During the valuation, we have to add back the same. So that automatically process open will get done. So the 3 adjustment alone always you have to remember before you are going to solve equivalent production. Clear? Based on that, we can stop. The second important info, whenever you come across equivalent production based problem, you have to remember steps. Any steps in the first one, compute input output quantity reconciliation. Second step, percentage of completion under the equivalent unit of production. Third step, compute cost per unit of equivalent production. Next, valuation of output transfer to next process. Closing WAP, abnormal loss or abnormal gain if any. And last step, prepare process account. These are all the steps is supposed to remember to solve FIFO method. Supposed to remember for solving equivalent production itself. Clear? Now, shall we start? We have to adhere all the steps. Then only process document will get carried out. First step, compute input-output quantity reconciliation. So let's start input-output quantity reconciliation. Okay. Now, so first column input, second column outputs. Under input, opening WAP. How many units available opening WAP? Yes. Opening WAP, which is given in this question, which is available. Kindly check it out. We have to do reconciliation. Okay. Opening WAP 2250. Yes. Current process input during the period. How much input you have given? That is called current processing. Input given during the period. Yeah, 22,750. So total is equal to total input given during the period, 25,000. Out of which output transfer to next process, 2,250. Output transfer to next process, totally how much? 20,000. Yes. That we have to classify it into opening WAP separately and current process input separately. So first we are going to take opening WAP. How much opening WAP? 2,250. 2,250 over and above is equal to current process. That is from fresh input have taken. Clear? So balance is out of current process. So how much the balance? Unit transfer to next process 19,500. Yes. Out of 19,500, 2,250 from opening WAP, balance comes to 17,250 is the fresh input. Okay, 17,500 comes under the fresh input. That and all output column we have to write. Okay. Then normal loss. Any info with respect to normal loss? Normal loss 10% on total input. 10% on total input. Total input represent opening WAP 2,250. Input introduced comes to 22,750. Totally how much? 25,000. Out of 25,000, 10% is equal to, out of 25,000, 10% is equal to normal loss. So normal loss 2,500. Then closing WAP available 2,500. Thereafter, you can prepare working note. What about the working note? Units scrapped. How much available? Units scrapped 3,000 quantity available. Out of 3,000 quantity, normal loss 2,500. Over and above the normal loss is called, yes, over and above the normal loss is called abnormal loss. So find how much abnormal loss. So 3,000 is the total unit scrap, out of which normal loss based on percentage of input 10% comes to 2,500. Balance is equal to 500. The 500 is called what? Abnormal loss. Over and above the normal loss is called abnormal loss. Got it? Abnormal loss now. Now you can verify the output column. With respect to output, unit out of output, opening WAP 2,250, current process input 17,500, totally 19,500, normal loss 2,500, abnormal loss 500, and closing WAP 2,500. Purchase panningo. So total supposed to be, yes, 25,000. So with this, yes, come. So with this, input and output has been reconciled. Okay, Srinivas, good. Input and output has been reconciled. So the input output quantity reconciliation represent. I have given 25,000 kgs of inputs. What happened to the 25,000 kgs? Out of which partly comes under normal loss, partly comes under abnormal loss, partly closing WAP, partly we are transferring to next process. So this is the logic behind what input and put the input and that is called input and output quantitative reconciliation. It's full and full quantitative input. Next, what about the next one? Percentage of completion under the equivalent unit of production. So we have to compute percentage of completion under the equivalent unit of production. With respect to percentage of completion equivalent unit, component wise you have to do the percentage of completion. What all the components are there? Material component, labor component, and overhead component. Right? Three components available. Material, labor, and overhead. So under material, percentage of completion and the equal unit. Labor also percentage of completion and equal unit. Overhead also percentage of completion and equal unit. Okay. Yes. If it's correct only. If percentage for labor and overhead same means you can take combine together material, labor and overhead column. Yes, correct. Over. Shall I go to the next one? Yes. With respect to degree of completion, it's full and full common sense. Output. What is called output? The work has been completed. The finished goods is called output. If it is called output, what would be the degree of completion? If it is called output, the degree of completion should be material 100, labor 100, overhead 100. Everything should 100% over. Then only it is called. Yes. Then only it is called what? Output. So always degree of completion for the output transfer to next process is 100%. But with respect to FIFO method, if in case of weighted average method, you can take as it is total output 19,500, material 100%, labor 100%, overhead 100% you can take. But in case of FIFO method, first we are going to take opening WAP. What is opening WAP? Already some percentage has been completed. Balance work only you have to do. Therefore, out of which opening WAP, you have to apply the remaining percentage. Or is or not? With respect to opening WAP, we have to apply the remaining percentage. You audible? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Opening WAP, you have to apply the remaining percentage. So, with respect to material, what is the degree of completion? Material 100% already completed. Therefore, balance nil for opening WAP 2250. Material column nil. Labor already 60% completed. Balance how much work pending? Remaining 40% only. So 40% you have to take. Okay. So 40% and overhead is also what? Remaining 40%. Are you or not? So 40% on? Yes. 40% on unit scrap. That is what we now you opening WAP already. Yes. So 40% on material comes to nil. Labor 40% on 2,250 is how much? 900 units. Labor also 40%. Am I right? Yes. Completed Kanam. Nine hundred. Yes. Shall I go to the next one? Similarly, yes, Kanam. Yeah. Unit transferred to next process. How much the balance unit transferred? 19,500 minus 2,250 is equal to 17,250. 100% completed, right? So material 100%, labor 100%, overhead 100% completed. Therefore, 100% on 17,250 is equal to material 7,250, labor 7,250, overhead is also 7,250. 17,000, yeah, 17,250. Yes. Okay. Next. Very comfortable. What is the next one? Normal loss. Degree of completion for the normal loss is always not applicable. Degree of completion for the normal loss is what? Always not applicable. Therefore, material nil, labor nil, overhead also. Abnormal loss. With respect to abnormal loss, degree of completion for the unit scrapped given in this question. Am I right? Check it up. Degree of completion for the unit scrapped available. Unit scrapped consists of normal loss and abnormal loss, but the degree of completion is not applicable for normal loss. Therefore, it should be applicable only for abnormal loss. Understood logic or not? So applicable only for abnormal loss. So what about the abnormal loss degree of completion? Material 100%, labor and overhead 70%. So 500 into 100% is equal to 500. 70% on 500 for material, labor and overhead 350 each. Similarly, closing WAP, always degree of completion for the closing WAP should be given in this question. Should be given in this question. Okay. How much given? Material 100%, labor and overhead 80%. So apply the same. 80% on 2,500 is equal to material 2,500, labor 80% comes to 2,000, overhead 80% comes to 2,000. Because material 100%. So degree of completion for the output transferred over, normal loss is over, abnormal loss is over, closing WAP also over. Then make a total. The total is called equivalent production. Equivalent production of material is how much? 20,250. Labor also 20,250 again. Okay. And labor 20,500. 20,500. Overhead is also 20,500. Got it? Yes. So equivalent production over. Shall I go to the next one? 20 total check one, quick. Yeah. Next, what are the next step? So first step, compute input-output quantity reconciliation over. Second step, percentage of completion to the equivalent unit of production over. Third step, compute cost per unit of equivalent production. Okay. What about the cost per unit of equivalent production? First column component, second column amount, third column equivalent unit, last column cost per equivalent unit. I'll repeat: component, amount. What about the equivalent unit? Cost divided by equivalent unit is equal to cost per unit, total cost, the amount. Okay. With respect to this material, how much? How much the total cost of material? 88,500. Clear? Opening WAP 11,250 is their first line item. In case of FIFO method, we should not consider cost of opening WAP. Therefore, that is not applicable. I told the second adjustment. Right? So current process input material is how much? 88,500. Yes, that amount you have to take. 88,500 less normal loss salvage value fed. How much the normal loss quantity? Yeah, normal loss comes to 2,500. Scrap value salvage value comes to 3. 2,500 to 3 is equal to 7,500 is a normal loss salvage. Balance equal to net material cost. Balance equal to net material cost. Find out net material cost 81,000. Good job. Next one. Similarly, what are the next expenditures? Direct labor or wages. How much the wages given in this question? With respect to wages, 20,500. Yes. Production overhead is also available. How much? 41,000. 20,500, 41,000. This is a cost column. Equivalent unit, already we got it. How much equivalent unit? Material 20,250. Labor 20,500. Overhead is also 20,500. So, what about the cost per equivalent unit? Cost per unit is equal to total cost divided by equivalent unit is equal to cost per unit. Material 81,000 minus 20,250 is equal to 4 rupees. Labor 20,500 divided by 20,500 comes to 1 rupee. Overhead is also, overhead is 41,000. 41,000 divided by 20,500 comes to 2 rupees. So total cost per unit is equal to 4 plus 1 plus 2 is equal to 7 rupees. Right? Check it up. 4 plus 1 plus. Am I right? Yeah. Next. Cost per unit of equivalent production over. Shall I go to the next one? Good. Then we can go for process account. Valuation you can do as form part of working note later. Okay. Yes. Process account. Particulars, unit and amount. Particulars, unit and amount. Debit side, credit side. In debit side, just you can do Control C, Control V from equivalent production table. Opening WAP 2,250. Current process input material 22,750. Therefore, total material cost comes to total quantity comes to 25,000. Out of which normal loss 2,500. Did it say? Yes, normal loss 2,500. Output transfer to process to the next process 19,500. Everything credit side. Abnormal loss 500. And closing WAP 2,500. Okay. Yes. Tally at about 20,000. So quantity column over. Am I right? Now we have to go for value. With respect to value, opening WAP value comes to how much? For the question, 11,250. Material quantity 22,750. Further value comes to 88,500. Debit side, cost column. Wages 20,500. Production overhead 41,000. So credit side, normal loss 7,500. Unit wise 2,500. Value of the scrap value of the normal loss is 7,500. Then we need value for output transfer in next process, abnormal loss 500 quantity, and closing WAP of 2,500. For that, we have to go for working note. Shall we go for working note? Yes. With respect to closing WAP valuation, equivalent unit into cost per unit is equal to value. Clear? Equivalent unit multiply with the cost per unit is equal to value. Closing WAP material equivalent unit 2,500 into cost per unit 4 rupees is equal to 10,000. Labor equivalent unit 2,000 units into 1 rupee is equal to 2,000. And overhead is also 2,000 quantity into 2 rupees comes to 4,000. So total value of closing WAP 2,000 quantity is equal to 10,000 plus 2,000 plus 4,000 is equal to 16,000. That 16,000 you can give the posting. Go back. Now, yes. Similarly, valuation with respect to what is the posting process costing. Yes. Output transfer to next process. Before that, abnormal loss. Abnormal loss. How many units? 500 units. Equivalent unit into cost per unit is equal to value. Equivalent unit into cost per unit is equal to value. Now, with respect to equivalent unit, material 500 units into 4. Labor equivalent you can take it from equivalent production table itself. Table. Labor 350 units into 1. And overhead also 350 into 2. Quantity wise 350 into 2. Okay. To find out total value comes to 200 plus 350 plus 700. 3050. 3050. Next column. Good. How to get the posting process on the next output transfer to next process that we have to segregate into 2 parts. Opening WAP and the current process input. Out of 19,500, 2,250 is the opening WAP. Balance out of current process output 17,250. Valuation should be separately. Equivalent unit into cost per unit is equal to value. Equivalent unit into cost per unit is equal to value. Now, opening WAP. Material nil. Labor 900 into 1. Overhead 900 into 2. How much salary total comes to 900 plus 1,800. Yes. Then current process input. How much from current process input? 17,250. That we can multiply the total cost itself. Material plus labor plus overhead is equal to total cost. Okay. Total value. Add cost of opening WAP. How much the cost of opening WAP? 11,250. Right, first line item 11,250. After adding everything, yes, you have to add cost of opening WAP. That is also incurred to produce 19,500 units of finished goods. So total comes to 1,34,700. 1,34,700. Okay. Total paramo. Total paramo. Baba, tally it down. Yes, 1,61,250. Yes, 1,61,250. Good. Complete it down. Right down. Check பண்ணிக்கோ. Good, 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 good. Good. Next போலாமா? Okay. Good. Hope you are comfortable with respect to equivalent production FIFO method. Okay. Shall I go to the next question? Wow. Similarly, we will do one more question. Question is there in the chat box. That post. Muruha. Okay. Go to the question quickly. Question is there in the chat box. Kindly go through quickly. Will I read the question? Yes. XP Limited furnishes with the following information relating to process 2. Opening WAP nil. Unit introduced to 42,000 units at rupees 12. Expenses debited in the process, direct material 61,530, labor 88,820, overhead 1,76,400. Normal loss in the process 2% of input. Closing WAP 1000 unit, 1200 units. Degree of completion material 100%, labor 50%, overhead 40%. Finished output 39,500. Degree of completion for abnormal loss material 100%, labor 80%, overhead 60%. Units scrapped as a normal loss were sold at units scrapped as a normal loss were sold at 4 rupees 50 paise per unit. All the units of abnormal loss were sold at rupees 9 per unit. Prepare necessary account. Go through the question. Interesting one. Yes, go through quickly. Yes. புரியுதா? ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாமா? YouTube live students, question பார்த்தாச்சா? Good. First, can you please try input output quantity reconciliation? No need of any bifurcation. Weighted average method you can try. Okay. Input output quantity reconciliation. Can you please try? Same format you have to write. Input column, output column. In input, opening WAP, copy paste. Current process input also copy paste. Yeah, current process input. Total input is how much? Total input. Opening WAP in. Good. Current process input 42,000. Therefore, total comes to 42,000. Correct. Then output column. Go to output column. How much the output transfer next to process? That is a finished goods. 39,500. Yeah, 39,500. Normal loss 2% on total input. 42,000 into 2% is equal to 840. Closing WAP 1,200. In this problem, unit scrapped info not available. Therefore, we can consider balance figure as a balance figure if any as an abnormal loss. Output transfer next process, normal loss, closing WAP. If there is a difference, then it is called what? Abnormal loss. What about the abnormal loss? Complete பண்ண வராத. என்ன பண்ற? தூங்காம எழுது. So abnormal loss comes to how much? 460 units. Yes. 460 units. புரியுதா? Okay. Then we have to go for percentage of completion and the equivalent unit of production. Check it up, check it up, check it up. Percentage of completion for material separately, labor separately, overhead separately. Percentage of completion and the equivalent unit for material, labor and overhead. With respect to percentage of completion, finished goods, you know, degree of completion for the finished goods is always 100%. Yes, sir. Degree of completion comes to always 100%. Next, 100% into 39,500 material, 39,500 labor, 39,500 overhead is also 39,500. 39,500. Next, normal loss. What is the degree of completion for normal loss? Cost. Degree of completion for the normal loss? Always not applicable. Yes. Always not applicable. Then, what is the next one? Abnormal loss. With respect to degree of completion for the abnormal loss, material given in this question, material 100%, labor 80%, overhead 60%. Am I right? So material 100, 80, 60, respective program. Comes to 460, 368, and 276. 276. Right arm. Okay. Yes, Raja. What do I do for you? For you in life? Raja Gopal. Okay. So comes to how much? 460, 368, 278. Okay. Closing WAP similarly, material 100%, labor 50%, and overhead 40%. So, with respect to closing WAP, material 1200, labor 600, and overhead 480. 480. Yes. Next. Find out total. How much material, labor, and overhead? Equal unit tally at the per. Material 41,160. Labor 40,000. 40,000. 468. 468. Overhead 40,000 to 56. Okay. I'll repeat. Process account total. That is what equivalent production table total. Material equivalent unit comes to 41,160. Labor 40,000. 468. Overhead 40,256. Hope all of you got the same answer. Good. Any doubt up to the stage? Good. What next? We have to compute cost per unit. Yes. Try cost per unit quickly. Complete பண்ணியாச்சா பாரு. Quick. Put yeah. Write all the costs. Quick. Same format. Cost component, cost equal unit, and the cost per unit. So, how much the cost per unit of equivalent production? Material, $13 something above. Labor, little fast. Yes. Coming. What the answer? 13.648. 2.195 over again. Coming. 4.382. Right arm. Good. Good. Okay. Now, all of you got the same answer. Good. Now, shall I have a small break? Thereafter, I can continue. Relax. Welcome back, my dears. Break time over. Shall we start? Welcome back after the professional break. So you have completed cost per equivalent unit. Am I right? Input output quantity reconciliation over. Percentage of completion under the equivalent unit of production over. Next, you have to go for cost per unit of equivalent production. That is also over. Am I right? Okay. Then material comes to 13.648. Yes. Labor 2.195 and overhead 4.382. Nothing but material 5,61,750 divided by 41,160. Yes, 41,160 is equal to 13.648. Labor 88,820 divided by 40,468. 468 is equal to 2.195. And overhead 1,76,400 divided by 40.256 is equal to 4.382. Okay. Good. Then we can go for process account. I think process 2 account, right? In this question, process 2 account. Process 2 account. Particulars unit debit side and credit side. Under the particulars, opening WIP nil. There is no opening WIP in this question. Current process input. Input quantity 42,000. Value comes to 5,04,000. Direct material 61,000. Yes. Amount column. Direct material 61,530. 61,530. Direct labor 88,820. 88,820. Overhead, that is also given 1,76,400. 176,400. Understand? Good. Physical students are good boy. Next, what next? Kana? Credit side, can you verify credit side? In credit side, normal loss 840 units. Value for that normal loss 3,780. Yes. abnormal loss, you have to do the valuation. Do the valuation, abnormal loss. Equivalent unit into cost per unit is equal to value. Equivalent unit into cost per unit is equal to value. How much can I? What am total selling? Abnormal loss 8,295. Similarly, you can do the finished goods valuation. It's a weighted average method only. Equivalent unit into cost per unit is equal to value. Total quantity of finished goods 39,500. Segregated into material, labor, and overhead. Equivalent unit into cost per unit is equal to total value. So valuation over. Good. So finished goods valuation 7,98,877. Okay. Closing WAP, same manner. 1,200 segregated two parts, quantity 1,200, material component, labor component, and overhead component. How much the validation? You can put it. WAP developer 19,798. Okay. Check பண்ணிக்கோ. தலையெடுத்த பறிச்சுக்கிறோம். Next. Total 8,30,750. So normal loss, I'll repeat, normal loss 3,780, abnormal loss 8,295, finished good 7,98,877, closing WAP 19,798. Clear? In debit side, input material 5,04,000, direct material cost 61,530, direct labor 88,820, and what is it called? Overhead 1,76,400. Good. Total 8,30,750. Good. Other specialty in this question. So all of you got it? Got the answer? Cross open. Here automatically it will tally. Correct. Next. What are all the other points you're supposed to remember? In this problem, even though other than first process is the requirement, that is process 2 is the requirement in this question, right? If other than first process is the requirement, then we have to solve it by way of two material. Concept of two material. Concept of two material arises only in case of subsequent process. What is called subsequent process? It may be process 2 or process 3 or process B or process C. Other than first process is called subsequent process. In this problem, even though it's a subsequent process, two material concept not applicable because opening WAP nil. In case of opening WAP nil, then concept of two material won't arise. Okay, it's the first one you have to. The second important, what? Second important thing. What about the actual loss? Yeah, loss. Yes, the next doubt. If there is a loss, after adjusting normal loss salvage value that we have to transfer to costing paid lockout. Abnormal is applicable for abnormal gain also. Abnormal loss or abnormal gain. Value of the abnormal loss or abnormal gain. After adjusting normal loss salvage value, balance you have to transfer to costing paid lockout. Clear? Abnormal loss means debited to costing paid lockout. Abnormal gain means credited to costing paid. Always normal loss salvage value you have to subtract from. Yes. Material one. Why? Because salvage is applicable only for the material. There is no scrap value for the labor. Okay. Good. Next. Shall I go for joint product by product? Joint product and by product concept. The concept of joint product by product. Joint product represents what? Out of one material, we are getting more than one product. Is called a joint product. When producing the product, we are getting while producing one main product. If you are going to get more than one product, another product, the resultant product is called byproduct. The basic difference between joint product and the byproduct is intention behind the manufacturer is a criteria. Intention behind joint product and byproduct. What is the intention? As a manufacturer, I want to produce product A and product B. Both the products I am going to produce, intentionally if I am going to produce, then both the products are called a joint product. Byproduct represents what? I want to produce one main product. While producing the main product, incidentally or accidentally, another product is also emerged. Then the resultant product is called byproduct. Therefore, the intention behind the manufacturer is criteria to segregate whether it is called the joint product or byproduct. In examination, they ask how we have to segregate joint run by product? That may be the question. How to segregate? I think what the methods of apportionment. What about the methods of apportionment? Because common cost will be there. Up to one particular point of time, split off point cost. Before split off point cost, whatever the cost we have incurred is called common cost. Whereas after that, whatever the cost you are going to incur is called specific cost which are incurred specifically. Okay. Whenever you come across at the time of overhead itself, whenever you come across specific expenses, you have to do allocation. And whenever you come across common expenses, you have to do apportionment. Allocation and the concept again apportionment. So after split off point, whatever the cost you are, that costs are called specific cost. Therefore, specifically we are going to transfer the respective product. After the split off point, that is before split off point, whatever the cost you are going to incur or be incurred, that is called what? Common expenses that we have to apportion among the products. If you want to do the apportionment, we need some suitable basis, we need some methods. Here we are having methods with respect to apportionment based on the only first exam questions are there. What are all the various methods are there? Physical unit method, average unit cost method, technical point or technical evaluation method, contribution margin method, market value method. Under market value method, market value at split off point, market value after further processing, and NRV method. These are all what? Various methods with which we have done. Shall we try? Okay. Methods of apportionment of joint cost. Physical unit method, average unit cost method, average unit cost method. Technical point on technical evaluation method. Contribution margin method. Market value method. Under market value method, market value at the split off point, market value after further processing, NRV method. Yes. Over. NRV represent sales revenue after further processing less profit less selling and distribution less further processing cost. Balance is equal to NRV. What a chunk. Shall I go to the next one? Good. A factory produces two products A and B from a single process. The joint processing cost during the particular month are material 30,000, labor 9,600, variable overhead 12,000, factory fixed overhead 32,000. Sales A 100 units at the rate of 600 per unit. B 120 units at the rate of 200 per unit. Apportion the joint cost on the basis of physical quantity of each product, contribution margin method, and determine profit or loss under them. Okay. Go through the question quickly. So, working out with respect to total joint cost, direct material 30,000, labor 9,600, variable overhead 12,000. Then total variable overhead 51,600. Fixed overhead 32,000. Therefore, total joint cost 83,600. Am I right? Good. Apportion the joint cost between product A and product B. In case of physical unit method, $83,600 you have to apportion the ratio of 100 is to 120. Clear? So for A, 38,000, B, 45,600. It's purely based on physical units. Whereas B, variable cost you have to the next probability. Clear? First one physical unit, second one contribution margin. In case of contribution margin method, variable cost you have to apportion based on contribution. Variable cost you have to apportion based on quantity, and fixed cost, but we can apportion based on contribution. So variable cost, how much the variable cost? 51,600. That we can apportion based on 100 is to 120 ratio. 23,455 and 28,145. Yeah. Sales minus variable cost is called contribution. 36,545. Whereas B negative. Whenever negative comes to the picture, what to do? Fixed cost, we may not apportion to the negative one. Therefore, all the fixed costs we have to be allocated to product A itself. So total fixed cost 32,000 only for A. Always remember in contribution margin method, if any negative comes into picture, that particular product you need to apportion the remaining cost, the fixed cost. Therefore, all the fixed cost to be apportioned only for the positive figure. So product A, 52,000, 32,000 at apportion fully. Therefore, apportioned joint cost for A comes to 36,545 plus 52,000 is equal to 23,455 plus 32,000 is equal to 55,455. Whereas B only variable cost alone 28,145. Accordingly, they ask you to compute profit or loss. What about the profit or loss? Sales value minus apportioned joint cost is equal to profit or loss. In case of physical unit method, sales value 60,000 for product A and 24,000 for product B. Apportioned joint cost. Physical unit method 38,000 and 45,600. Balance equal to profit or loss. Got it or not? Profit Is it okay? This profit or loss comes to 22,000 profit for product A. Product B, 21,600. With respect to second one, contribution margin method, 4,545 profit, 4,145 loss. Okay. Any doubt with respect to apportionment of joint cost? Okay. Good. So hope you enjoyed this session. Balance we can discuss in our next class tomorrow. Okay. I think tomorrow is the last class. Okay. Bye-bye, my dears.
Class. And I will share the screen. Today we will take up onto financial instruments. Formal introduction. And one knows a little bit of terms like monetary and non-monetary. Then we will make some improvement in our understanding and proceed to financial instruments. Okay. So balance sheet items are classified in accordance with Ind AS 21 as monetary and non-monetary. Monetary items are those assets and liabilities expected to be settled at the values stated in the balance sheet. Assets and liabilities expected to be settled at the values stated in the balance sheet. Example are cash, accounts receivable, accounts payable, debentures, interest outstanding, etc. Cash, the value at which it is stated is expected to be used there. Accounts receivable are expected to be collected at the values at which they are stated. So people might definitely be asking a question, is it not a scenario where debtors are received less than the value at which they are stated? Maybe true in some of the cases where you have bad debts and all that. But ideally speaking, debtors are collected, creditors are paid at the values at which they are stated. So therefore, accounts receivable and accounts payable, even though you have some waiver on either side taking place, but they are expected to be paid or received at the values at which they are stated. Cash is like that, debentures are like that, interest outstanding, etc. Bank overdraft. The value of or the items of assets and liabilities, when they are stated in the balance sheet, a value, that is a value at which that particular asset or that particular liability will be paid or received. So this is what we expect for a monetary. So if you do not have these qualities, not having, or I will put it this way, other than monetary. Examples are inventory, investments, PPE, equity share capital, etc. This is what we understand whenever we find some intangible assets or PPE. The definition goes like this way: it is a non-monetary item and all that. Now, let us just bring out an improvement in these items. Assets and liabilities are now classified as financial and non-financial. So, monetary and financial, are they one and the same? Answer is not like that, but somewhat closer. So, you can have them as monetary plus or minus some items. What is that? You can have, for example, cash, accounts receivable, accounts payable. Then you have investments in other companies, debt, அதனால நீ பேசுற இப்போ இந்த See, there is a technical problem that we have, so we will just get that done.